Hey, what's going on, everyone? Just going to bring up a topic I keep seeing pop up, especially after the new update, and especially after they gave us a 3 slot for PvP setups. And so the real topic here is when you go to Star Scramble and you go into your defensive formations, a lot of players are saying that they're stuck and they can't figure out how to change this. Before the update, of course, you could just click onto things and change it right here in real time. And at first, I was a little bit confused too, so don't feel so bad. It took me a second to kind of figure this out myself. But you can see I'm clicking onto all of my stuff here, and I can't change it. It's not doing anything. And so, with the new PvP setups here, that is how you're going to change this. And so you can see the different formations here that I have, and we'll go over this just a little bit, but here's the current setup that I have for defensive formation. And let's just say I don't want hard rock and I don't want Hanzo, just per se. So what you would do is you go back out and you go back to the main screen, and where it says PvP setup at the top right here, you're going to click into this, and this is how you change your formations, and this is how you set up Star Scramble defense. And so, for example, let's just say I wanted to just go all energy. I would click into here, and basically, let's just put Thor on for training. And right there, Thor is now on. And since I'm using energy, I probably wouldn't use Hanzo, and I would probably, just for training here, I would put in Athena. And you can see energy defense break and energy defense is why I would use her for energy, of course. And so if I go back now to Star Scramble and I go back into the defense formation, right here, so you saw me, we click all this, nothing happens, and it gets a little confusing here. But now at the very bottom, above formation 2, it says sync formation. Now that I changed that in my formation 1, and you can see you can put in different formations here, guys, but I am going to specifically use formation 1. I will sync it, and look what happened. All of the stuff that I wanted in there is in there correctly. Now, one thing is about this, there is another way that you can still manually change this. Now, here's what I mean about this. You guys got to be a little bit careful about this because I'm in formation 1, okay? So if I'm in formation 1 and let's just say I'm playing the game and I decide I'm going to go do the Titan and I'm in formation 1 and I start changing stuff, okay? And I'm not even in the PvP setup, okay? And so this is kind of my point here. So if I start changing any of this stuff, let's just say like this. Okay, look what happens to my formation. Look, you see what happened, guys? It started changing my formation, and so you guys got to be a little bit careful not to change your formation once you have it set up for PvP. The 3 slots are great for medium and bigger players because we have more items. And so when you're facing bigger teams in Planet Wars especially, it was a real big pain in the neck switching over from physical to energy to this to that. And so that's really why they created these formations. And I'm going to show you what I did with mine, so I'm not messing with this. But I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to change this. And so now Athena's in there, and then let me redo my I'm gonna put my recoils in, okay? Now me personally, I'm just a recoil fan, just personally, and so I pretty much have this somewhat set up the way that I want it to be set up here for PvP. So, and for Star Scramble, just for training, okay? And so again, don't start messing with these outside because again, you can start tricking yourself And you can start messing around with this here, and then all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, why am I getting beat, or what happened, or you forgot that you put in a different pilot. Or so once you set this up, try not to mess with it. And so what I did is I did a formation 2 because I would rather have a Titan setup. So it doesn't mean that you completely have to do PvP for this at all. So right here I'm showing you guys my little trick that I made at the end. You can see where it says Titan setup at the top there. And I'm going to go over that here in a second. And then right here, PvP setup. And really I should call this energy. Type this in. And I think that's good for me. And so I'll rename it. So PvP energy. Okay. And so you guys just saw I did one for my Titan, so I don't have to keep switching all this stuff around. This is more than likely what I would use in the Titan as of right now. You guys might be asking why I'm not using the Conqueror shield. The Conqueror shield was kind of buffed and it doesn't seem to work the way that it used to. As of right now, I just put up another video. I put one up 2 days ago showing in Conqueror it was pretty neck and neck with the shield and with the wing gun. And that video alone, even though the shield looked like it beat it, it really didn't. It was pretty equal. And so I had put another one out about basically using them on Legion bosses, and every single time the wing gun select was beating the shield select. And then just today I put up another video using Phantom with the Conqueror shield versus the wing gun, and the wing gun again beat the shield. And so the reason why I have the Optimus Prime in here is Optimus Prime shield for one is energy, and it is probably one of the better shields out of all of them. And so if you're doing energy, you might want to use the Megatron one, but that's why you guys see me with the shield here. Now the other thing is so I went to click on that, and you see what happened, guys? Select the current formation. So if I wanted to change anything, you guys have to select the actual current formation. Okay, and then you can go back in there. But just remember, once you go in there and select that, if you start poking around at just your regular function of the game, it's going to change that setup too, basically. So I have a third formation that I haven't set up, and I'll do it in front of you guys. And so I'm going to select, of course, you have to select it before you can start changing stuff. And let's just say I wanted a physical setup, and that's what we'll do. I'll probably take Hard Rock, main gun. I'll do Conqueror. But you guys are seeing how easy this is once you actually select the actual slot that you're wanting to change. Then you can get into all these select features, and it's pretty easy. But unless you're really seeing it and somebody's kind of explaining it, it can be confusing. And again, you guys know how I feel about the Optimus shield right now, so I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put my bomb in to give me some more base power here. Okay, and so drones, I would definitely. And so when you're selecting your drones, guys, just remember so your first slot would be whatever you click. So if I click, let's say I click this, that would be my first slot. Let's just say I want my defense to be Gruss here, and then all the way to the right. So selecting these in an order puts those in, and I'll show you what I mean here. So right there, see how the first slot was Pavo, I wanted my defender to be Gruss, and then right flank Apis, basically. So yeah, clicking those drones and putting them in order can possibly make a difference. I haven't really seen too terribly much of a difference. I do have a lot of players that ask, is there a certain slot that they should be in? Does that really matter? And I just personally, if I'm using recoils, I'm more of a 3 drone type of player. Um, all you guys can do what you want. Everybody can put in their burning drones and other things like that. Me personally, just me personally, I'm a 3 recoil just player. That's just me. After doing my own testing and playing against other players, I just feel that the recoils are still a very good system for PvP, regardless of the burning drone. So right here I have that set up, and so right here you guys can see I have this pretty set up. I do have Freya in because she is physical defense break and physical defense equally. I'm not a big fan either, and this is just me, guys. I'm not a big fan of too much offense or too much defense. For me, too much offense or defense, you're gonna lose. It's from me testing just personally. It just seemed like I lost a lot more versus just having a nice equal across the board. Again, physical defense break and physical defense. So I'm still a little old school, I guess, if that's what you want to call to how I pick my pilots here. And then you saw my other defense or PvP energy that I'm using Athena. And so here you go, guys. Go see. I can look like I'm putting it on there, but unless you select it, you cannot change anything. So again, we'll go here, and again, Athena. I said it a little while ago. Energy defense break, energy defense, because I am using an energy ship basically. So just to be on the safe side, I will go back to Star Scramble and see the defense, and it basically has my same defense in there. But again, guys, if you're starting to click around and do all kinds of crazy stuff, that's not going to be good. And so from here, now that I have formation set up, you can save this in there. Now, of course, I wouldn't want to use my Titan setup for PvP, but then I have my physical that I could put in there. And now that I have these in there, that's how you sync what your formations are. But that's the only way that you can change what your defense is in Star Scramble, especially. So I didn't really go over too much here. Let me go back into formation 3. So again, see how it says formation up there? I'm going to now change this to physical PvP. So right here is kind of why it was important to a degree, especially for the bigger players. Again, if you're trying to counteract, or you're fighting somebody with Conqueror and you want to fight him back with the Conqueror, energy versus Conqueror. I mean, there's a lot of variables and why this is pretty crucial. And again, in the past here, it was a real big pain in the neck trying to switch over and trying to figure out these combinations, and hopefully this makes it a lot faster. Well, it is making it a lot faster, but again, just because you have that set up doesn't mean that that's what you're going to use. I mean, there could be a couple variables. You might want to change out a pilot for a certain situation. A lot of players now are doing little combos of hard rock, Thor weapons or destroyer weapons, and then it's changing the dynamic of the ship because you're using energy with a physical ship, or if you're using Thor for a reason with let's just say Conqueror weapons, you're going to want to change that pilot to a split pilot basically. So there's so many different scenarios out there. I mean, a player could be energy, and let's just say, or Conquer. Let's use Conquer for example. Let's just say they're using Conquer, but you're wanting to use your energy weapons, but you wanted to combat that Conquer. You would put a physical shield on and then use your energy, but again, you would want to use a specific pilot for that. So I'm going to select into here just as an example, guys. And so Lancelot would be probably what I would use in that. So there is case scenarios where I'm going to use a different pilot depending on the setup. And again, if you're mixing your ship pieces and stuff like that, your pilots are going to be pretty crucial to how that ship and weapons are going to function. So just because you have 3 slots of PvP does not mean that you have all of the setups. But at least it helps a little bit. It gets us on the right track. It's a lot easier now to go in there and then, go to energy. And then if I have to switch one little thing or something like that, that's fine. Not a big deal. And then, of course, your gems. I didn't want to bore you guys, so I left my gems in there. And so you guys will set up your gems the way that you want to. I personally, a little old school again, I guess. I keep 2 of the same gems in generally the cabins. Now, I've had a lot of players ask me, why are you using the wing gun? And the wing gun, obviously, it's a 3-star, and I don't have a 3-star main gun. And after my testing personally, I do score a little bit higher with that wing gun versus 2 main guns. One thing I did notice, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but they took away, it looks like, the bonuses. When you would set up 2 gems in each cabin, you actually got a bonus for that. And I haven't heard anybody talking about this, but I don't see a bonus on any of this. Well, yeah, kind of right here. I guess your green gems do, but what's odd is none of the other weapons or your defensive gems are giving you those bonuses. But yeah, right here it looks like you are getting the bonuses for doing that. Let's just see. Yep, so right there. Let me just put something else in there and let's just see what it does. And I'm gonna put my aerial back in. And so yeah, on your green cabin here, you are still getting your bonuses by doing that. And but the other ones don't. And I don't know if anybody's really caught on to that yet. So I figured I'd point that out. But it does look like your green cabin is still giving you the bonuses. And I'm not sure why they took the bonuses away from the other 2 gem sets. But I thought I'd just bring that up real quick. But of course, guys, set your gems up the way you need to set them up. Make sure you have everything pretty correct. And again, once this is correct, this is how you, again, set up basically your star scramble. And so I'm going to put this back in because I put this in the physical for training. I'm going to put this one back in just for safekeeping for now. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do on basically this SS. We're against a very, very, very powerful team. And a lot of times, again, here's another reason why you would want different PvP. But it sucks with Star Scramble because once you set that defense, once they figure out your defense, they can switch into all kinds of different stuff to counteract your defense. And what sucks is you can't change that defense once it's set. So sometimes I'll make it look like I don't have anything on there. I'll try to confuse them as much as possible before we start. But again, once it starts, it kind of doesn't matter anyways. And so I'll enter this just for a second, let you guys see what the heck's going on over here. But now for an example, so now this is an all energy player right here. And because it's an all energy player, I'm probably going to either want to do a hard rock with an energy shield and possibly conquer to counteract, or trust that my Thor is going to be energy against energy. I mean, there's just so many different scenarios, guys. Again, I'm glad that they have the PvP switch ups, but just because that's your PvP does not mean that you're probably going to change that quite often regardless. And especially in Star Scramble, if you're going up against the bigger players and you're just really trying to figure out what do I use here, it can be a little daunting. And one thing I found interesting about this player is they have physical defense and energy defense. This is a pretty massive player, and I'm pretty sure they can get away with this. But I don't know if I would actually do that. Just personally, I mean, this is a big player. Obviously, they know how to play. But me personally, I don't know unless you're putting in like a shield to back up that energy defense or a shield for physical defense. I don't know exactly how effective that would be. And just me personally, again, I'd want to even everything out. I would want to make sure that I have a punch in my physical or energy break, and then I would want to make sure that I had the proper defense to, again, either is it going to be energy or is it going to be physical. So this is a pretty cool little thing for me to talk about and why the PvP setups can be important. Each player on here is going to be a little bit different. I mean, so let's see. This is I think Thor guy. And right here he's using basically burning drones. And I guarantee you his Gruss is probably hitting harder than those burning drones. Again, I'm not a super big fan of the whole burning drone flipping over drones into PvP. I've seen more success just personally with the recoils personally. And that's just me personally. But again, with him, energy against energy would probably be a pretty good idea against him. And so now you got to start weighing out your options here. And so here's one. So this guy right here is basically full conquer. Now I can have faith in my energy, or for another example, what I was saying earlier is I can go. Let's just say I could go hard rock, Thor weapons to maybe counter the conquer weapons, and then I would put in my basically Optimus Prime shield to do what? Protect me from the physical attack that he's giving. So there is just so many variables to this, and now you have to start weighing. There's 3 big players here just alone that I just showed you guys, and it could be 3 different setups. And what sucks is, again, once you set that defense up, you can't change it. And there's a good chance that the Conqueror guy could probably beat me. I wouldn't say easily, but you know, just pending. That's why it's nice to be able to change your setups and your PvP setups. And I'm glad that they somewhat did this, because again, you can jump into that one of those setups as offense and change it up just a little bit, and it's a lot quicker and it's a lot faster. So, you know, hats off to them for doing that. But just give you guys just a little down low on you know, why you would do that and when you would want to do that. And but again, guys, if you start just going in now, look, I'm not into the PvP setup, but it says PvP energy, and it's telling me what I'm in. So you guys got to pay attention again, because again, if you just come in here and you just start clicking stuff, you're going to change that, not knowing or maybe remembering. So once you have this set up, leave that one alone. Again, for some of the newer players, medium players, you can set these up. You don't have to use it just for PvP. Again, I've got PvP energy, I've got a Titan setup, and then, you know, if you guys don't have enough of the equipment, leave one formation to where you can go and test other stuff and mix it around and do all kinds of stuff without having to worry about messing up your PvP, or in my case, my Titan. So this formation 3, again, I turned it into physical, and this is probably pretty cool for me because I have an energy side and then I have a physical side, and then I can manipulate these. So, but I hope this kind of helps you guys out a little bit. Again, it took me a second to kind of figure everything out, and if you guys have any questions, you know, I'll try to answer it the best that I can. I'm not an expert at this game by any means. I know I always say that. I do have a couple of people I lean on for the tougher questions, and I do have mentors myself, and so we're just here just trying to figure it out together. At least I try to just break it down in a little bit simpler terms than maybe speaking with somebody else that's just, you know, throwing out all kinds of crazy numbers and stuff. And, you know, I try to, you know, I have to dumb it down for myself, to be honest. I'm not a huge numbers guy. I'm more into, can we see it work or do we not see it working? And that's kind of what this page was dedicated to, is seeing is believing. And so If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll answer it the best that I can. And I do appreciate everybody's support, and hopefully this kind of, shows everybody what's going on just a little bit more. This is still roughly new, and again, this topic keeps coming up. I see it in the forums a lot, and hopefully this will help. So if you see somebody struggling, maybe just pass this video along. And then most importantly, guys, just have fun.